The following may contain language and subject matter which is not appropriate for all audiences. Ta-da! Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the Low Fact Podcast. Got the young millennial Andy.
Yeah.
Antoine.
Oh, you sound like Pikachu.
Addison. Adam.
Ashton.
Ashton.
I like Ashton.
Like Ashton Kutcher?
No, like Ashton Gear.
I was thinking Ashton Kutcher.
He's such a douchebag, though.
I know he is.
We got
Bad news.
player hater Matt over here
I'm not a hater.
who hates everything.
Some days.
Even the air. Or no, that's me. I'm Dave. I hate everything all the time and none of the time at the same time.
That's a lot of time.
Well, you know.
Respect.
I don't even know what that means.
Good, because I don't either. Well, all right. So I have exhausted topics for the week, and my phone is 6 feet away from me, so I cannot actually reach to get another topic.
I think Andy should come up with a topic.
Well, if
Right.
Andy comes up with a topic,
There must be something that came out in the last week that you're like, this sucks. Or like,
Other than life itself?
yeah.
really, you got a good life though.
No, it's not bad. I like to be a Debbie Downer. I'm a closeted Debbie Downer. I always assume the worst of every situation.
Why?
Because I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than always disappointed. I feel like optimistic people are the people who, like, after so many horrible things that probably go on, they start to lose it. I always expect the worst, and so I'm never really disappointed
Is that true though?
that everything bad is going to happen.
No, the idea that if you always expect the worst, then you're not going to be disappointed.
No, you'll still be disappointed. It's just you expected it.
Yeah, but because I don't think intellectually or even emotionally that's possible.
To always assume the worst.
Well, no, to sit there and say that and to think that you can manage your disappointment by expecting to be disappointed.
Well, it's not managing it because it's obviously an issue, but we'll deal with that with the professional later. It's, it's just more of a setting yourself up to always expect the worst, in a sense that you think it's always going to be bad.
That is a form of managing your expectations.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
'Cause then
saying.
it's-
That you're trying to manage your expectations.
You're
You're
very
trying
much
to.
trying to. I know I can't, but I can always try.
So okay, you just answered my question. It doesn't work.
No, it does work.
My head hurts.
No, it does work. Because, like, if you have, like, some, like, freaking sunshine, rainbows, unicorn view of the world.
Which nobody does after
People-
past the age of 8.
No, there are people that do.
There's people
Definitely.
that hold on.
There are people that go into their adult years having a very romantic view of what the world is until something really bad happens to them. And that is so I think, like, being a little bit pessimistic is a form of managing your expectations, because then when something good happens, you're, like, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, but when something bad happens, you're not less disappointed.
You're still disappointed. It's just you saw it coming. You're right. You still have the same amount of disappointment, but you're like, oh, well, I expected it. But you still are disappointed. I can't lie about that. But at least you saw it coming.
That's my point. You can still be optimistic and see.
Ugh, no, you can't.
Yeah, you can. You can still, like, there's a chance that this is not going to go well, but there's also a chance that it can go well. So I'm gonna focus on the chances that it's going to go well.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, we can tell who the optimist in the room is. You're optimistic. You are an optimistic person.
I never said that I wasn't, but you optimism deniers over here are trying to act like that you're not.
I'm not optimistic.
You are the king of fantastic optimism.
No, I'm a pessimist.
Just because you label yourself something does not make it true.
I believe I'm a pessimist. How about that?
You didn't do anything different. You just labeled yourself twice.
Have you always been a negative thinker? Debbie Downer?
Yeah, it's because
What'd
of
you
my
think?
father and my grandmother.
Were they Debbie Downers?
When I would used to call up my grandmother, she would be like, "Oh, did you see that 300 people died in that earthquake in Chile? Isn't it terrible?"
But it wasn't
But she
terrible.
was
She
like,
thought it was great.
and she knew about every. she had like only 3 channels to choose from: channel 1, 2, and 3 in New Zealand. But between the newspaper and 3 channels on television, she knew about every natural disaster that was happening anywhere and who died and how they died, and she was gleeful about it.
So that just tells me there's some kind of, I don't want to say perverse, but that seems like to be the only word that matches.
A morbid curiosity.
And I would play along with her. I'd be like, yeah, it's terrible. I was like, did you hear about that other thing over here? And she's like, oh, I know. Isn't it horrible?
So you guys,
Wait, this sounds more like a fetish thing.
yeah, it's not pessimism. You are taking great joy out of other people's misfortune.
That's a whole different monster.
That's not pessimism, dude. That's just kind of,
But she came across as pessimistic.
that's
though.
lifeism. That is, dun dun dun, communism.
Where's the bell? Fucking.
There's no bell.
Ding!
You're going to have to add a bell. No, that might take extra time.
I like it. There you go. That was my balls.
I guess we
Did
might
you have
to-
a weird accident with a Rottweiler when you were young?
The point is that you need to keep talking.
I think we have the budget for something that we can use. It can be a horn or
Well,
a
we
bell.
already got something.
That's a pretty sweet
There
bell.
we go. Does not sound like a bell.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
Well, Andy was
Yeah,
talking
about,
about. I think you're
optimism and
pessimism.
pessimism.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself neutral then?
No,
Because you
no,
try to
I'm
look
not.
at both.
Well, I do look at both, but I tend to gravitate towards the possibility of the good, of the beneficial.
So you're a little
I'm
optimistic.
optimistic, dude. I won't lie. I know I'm an optimist, but you know, because when I tried to manage expectations and be like, oh, I know this isn't going to go right, but because I know this isn't going to go right, it's not going to be as disappointing. Well, you know what? It was more disappointing than I ever thought it could be.
So when you hope for something that goes really well and it goes shitty, how do you feel?
Not as bad as if I thought it was going to go shitty and it went shitty.
But you never do that way, so how do you know how that feels?
No, I do know. I
Oh,
stopped
so
doing
you've
the
tried
other way.
both. You've tried both
I
ways.
stopped doing the. I've done both in situations. I had a phantasmagorical, a fantastic foray into this thing. I knew it wasn't going to go well, but I was like, that's okay. I know it's not going to go well, so how bad can it be? Well, let me tell you. I felt pretty bad. And I believe that if I had thought about it from the other perspective, like, yeah, this could go badly, but I'm going to try to make it work or whatever. And if it goes bad, then, yeah, I'll feel bad. But whenever I try to jump on the manage your disappointment by thinking it's not going to go well, the depths of disappointment always exceeds what I think it will.
Oh, so it's actually way worse than you thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
You mean if you're trying to be pessimistic?
Maybe you're not a good pessimistic person.
Maybe.
Well, I think ultimately, I think you have a positive view.
Why shouldn't I? I mean, look how stupid I am, and
But it's also the way you're shaped, I think.
the species.
I think optimism.
There's no need to sit there and talk about, like, body shame me, dude.
It's because you're around. No. I honestly think that optimism and pessimism is a nurture thing. I think it depends on how you're raised.
My mother's very optimistic. My
Really?
my mother's very optimistic. My dad's not cynical. Actually, he's pretty optimistic, honestly. He looks on the brighter side.
So then there goes my theory.
I don't maybe I'm the middle child.
Well, maybe
Weird
he's pessimistic about it because mom and dad's optimism squarely missed him and hit his other two brothers.
See, but you
They're
don't
pretty
come.
optimistic. I'm not going to lie. They are optimistic.
See, you
as
don't
well.
come across as a pessimist in a work context, at least.
No, because
I mean, you
I don't know.
seem-
It's strange that I'm comforted by the idea that everything's gonna go horrible. Like it brings me comfort knowing that, like, all right, it's gonna be bad.
So what
And it's
happens
gonna
when
be
something
okay.
good happens?
Are you disappointed?
No, I am pleasantly surprised. I'm like, holy shit, I was wrong.
But do you go, oh well, when's the other shoe gonna drop? Like
No,
this can't last.
for that moment, there's a hint of happiness. Or like, holy shit, let me just take the victory. Don't think about it. Don't overthink it, because the pessimism comes from overthinking shit. It comes from just constantly reminding, it's gonna go shit, it's gonna go shit. When I don't think about it, it's a little better. So when I have those little victories, I don't like to say shit in my mind. I'll stay quiet.
I think also you have a
It truly does dizzying intellect.
no. What seems to me a misunderstanding of the nature of happiness.
there's a lot of that, and that's a closet you don't want to walk into.
I feel like I'm already there.
How's that? Or are you not gonna? Is that you're
What?
just gonna throw that out there and not?
Well, no, I mean, because the way you described happiness is this like fleeting thing.
Yes,
That's what happiness is.
fleeting.
Well,
It's not forever.
you can't, dude.
Nothing is forever.
Sure, there are things that are forever, but
Like
you
death?
can't sustain happiness for more than a brief periods of time.
So I'm doing it right by enjoying the little moments that I do get.
Well, sure,
Okay, I'll take it.
but if you think about it, like think about always being happy,
Ugh,
you die.
that sounds gross. Honestly,
I don't think you'd be able to take it.
I don't think I want it.
Well, good for you, but I think that
Like if you had an orgasm for an hour.
No, that can't be good. That can't be good. No. Right? That can't be good. We got to think about it.
Dave's like, what?
I don't believe it always comes back to
Sex?
Well, orgasms are pretty happy.
Yeah, but like when you masturbate, that's after you have that happy moment, you have the most shameful 15 to 20 minutes of your life.
that's you.
Anyways,
You know
That must be another nurture thing.
that's another nurture.
that's you.
That's a
and-
religious
and,
uprising guilt.
and,
that
and
never-
whatever it is the nuns did to you when they caught you. But that's
I wish they caught me.
again, that's another
Dude,
thing.
you're gonna
That's
get
just
struck down by
all
lightning.
you.
Dude,
Just
if
FYI.
I would ever get a chance to fuck a nun, I would take that
No,
opportunity in a heartbeat.
Nope.
In
no,
a
no.
heartbeat.
You mean
No.
consensually?
Consensually, obviously.
Nope.
If I could get a nun
Nope.
to just get away from her
Nope.
ways and to take off the 10
No,
layers
we're
of
not. We're not
clothing.
going down this line of discussion. Because I think I'm gonna
You know
have
what?
To,
That's
then
a
I'm gonna have
situation-
to, like punch you in the face.
That situation would be very optimistic.
He always does this at the end of the podcast.
I'm just confused because I'm like, why would you want to do it with a nun?
Because just the idea of
Forbidden fruit?
Yeah,
Is that what?
That's
is that
exactly
what it's really about?
But the nun's already given herself to God, though.
No, I think the nun, I think to protect his psyche, the nun is actually a stand-in for mom.
Oh, so
That's
he's
a
got
whole
he's got
different
mummy
fetish.
he's got mummy issues.
Not that I
Makes
do
sense.
love the older women.
See, I'm starting to think that it's his mind building up barriers to keep him from losing.
This shit is not going to be in the 1 minute promotional clip. Just FYI.
Banging the nun? Do you guys know any nuns?
No,
If you ever do.
actually I do, but I don't think that.
You ain't going to be going anywhere near them if I know anyone.
You
if I get to meet any
motherfuckers.
nuns.
That's your bag, not ours.
Fair point. Fair point.
So
So we've established that Andy has some problems.
Andy's young and a little disturbed, and he's also trying to shock us. But
I am shocked.
because he has a decent voice and he's actually doing our sound stuff, we're cool with that. Cool. I forget where we were going,
We
but
were
like
talking about the nun thing and how you guys going to help me. I
No.
think I remember that.
no, that's a different
No?
conversation. That was
No?
that
And
second
for those
part?
of you who
Oh,
are
off the
listening,
podcast,
for those
I got it.
Catholics who are listening, I'd like to put in a formal apology.
So the Catholics, please send your email to the lowfactpodcast@gmail.com and please give me as many nun phone numbers as you can.
Why don't you just watch nun porn like everybody else?
You know what? After watching Mia Khalifa in nun clothes, it's not the same. She's so hoary and I love it.
It's so sad that I know who this person is.
I know who it is too.
And yet,
Don't fucking act like you wouldn't know that name. She's one of the biggest ones right now.
Yeah, but there are people that don't watch porn who probably don't know who.
Yeah,
Mia
and those are the
Khalifa
people who
is.
lie about it.
I like the older stuff. So
Yeah.
the newer stuff is not really my bag.
This is why kids can't listen to this podcast.
But she's already done with it, isn't she?
I know, but for those majority of months where she did her work.
That's another thing. Something
She
that
must have
food
done a lot of work.
food for thought. Why is it that the porno actresses really only don't last more than 2 years generally?
I think it's kind of like a professional athlete thing. Your body just can't take it anymore.
But there are some that last a lot longer, and that's something to maybe we'll come back to it next week.
That's a definitely. I'll do more research on that. I watch a lot of
I
porn.
think that has to,
I don't
to
think
do
you
with,
need encouragement to watch porn.
I don't need encouragement.
I
I just
think
need
it's
a reason.
about disturbed psychology.
Well, there you have it. Thank you all for listening, and
Blessed be the nun that gets to call me.
he says that, but
All right, thanks for tuning in to Low Fat Podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Just search Low Fact. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/lowfactpodcast. If you want to chat to us, send us some comments, or have us talk about some things, just send an email to lowfactpodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on our Twitter and Instagram pages at lowfactpodcast. And also check out Andy's pages where he mixes our beats, Twitter and Instagram at Fantasy Beat. And you can also find his wicked ass shit on SoundCloud at Artificial